Hi and welcome to another video by Are You Arty Kids. So this afternoon what we're going to be doing is we're going to do a version of a Cezanne still life. So this is an image of a Cezanne still life, Paul Cezanne. And what I've done is I've taken it into Word and I have just turned it into sort of a sepia, sort of single colour with a highlight washed out. Because what we're going to do is we're going to use that sort of monotone painting effect. So I've given it sort of an orange sepia feel. So this strips away all the colour and leaves us a good representation for real shadow tones in and around the plants and behind these, folds of the material. Got some nice mid-tones in the skull, the fruits, the table, that sort of thing, and some of the background. And then we've got these really nice highlights on the white material, highlights on the skull, the top here, some lighter tones kicking about there. So it's just going to make it a little bit easier to see if you can strip a full colour image back to something sort of one colour and a highlight or one colour and a dark tone. All right, so what I've done already, I've done a video already of doing a skull in coffee, and what I've done is I've had a go at doing that very impressionistic style. So this was done quite quickly, just using coffee as well, just trying to capture, use the negative space in and around the paper to help you sort of when you're blocking in and around this area. That's what I started with first, and then started to work on this using the paper, the white of the paper for the highlights. So that's with coffee, and I'm going to try something new this afternoon. So just thinking, what else can I use? This is Brown Tree's cocoa powder. So what I've done is put a little bit of powder into a bowl, a couple of brushes, a bit of rag or a bit of loo roll, and then I'm going to use my reference image to help me. And I'm going to start by blocking in my darker tones. I've never painted with this before, so this is completely new. So you can be quite loose with this. There we go. So that's quite nice. It's quite dark. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the tip of the brush, and I'm almost going to paint sort of outlines. I'll work my way around. Now, probably just like the coffee, start blocking in these plants as well. Use the flat part of the brush to block, and then the tip, obviously, these leaves. Get some sort of nice natural shapes. So I'm not sure how the cocoa powder will behave. You could use a little tub of water as well at the same time to wash your brush out. But having a rag is quite useful as well. And then I'm going to use the tip of the brush just to get into the top of the eyes and flood it a little bit. Do the same with the nose, flood that nose at the bottom. So what I've done already is I just drew a very, very light sketch out just for positioning. Didn't take very long at all. And then what I'm doing now to get almost like a bit of a vignette is I'm taking all the cocoa powder off the brush. So you could wash your brush with water, dab it onto a bit of rag, and then just pull that paint, or in this instance cocoa powder, down. Let's get some of these. Now with the coffee, what we did is, unless using watercolour paper as well, just careful when you're over wetting, don't want it to deform and break down. So what I'm doing is just blocking in. And if I want darker tone, I could add some more powder to strengthen that up. Or what I could do is I could wait, let that dry, and go back like this and add another layer. This is a lot thicker actually than the coffee. And if I don't want so much on, maybe just use the rag to take some off, and then use what's left on the brush, maybe almost like a sort of latency. To give me a variation for the mid-tones. So I'm just putting a little bit on the brush, and then I'm just taking a little bit off with a rag before I then put this on. I'm going to make these fruits now, these pears, a little bit 3D, so I'm pressing into the brush and then I'm just going to dry that paint off, so I'm almost dry brushing it, just scumbling that paint to give me a nice soft edge, and then I can go back in again and then just put maybe another layer. Pick that out. Got a big fold in here, material. Under the table. Good thing about this is, if you're not a big fan of coffee, most people are a fan of chocolate, and if you don't like the smell of coffee, you probably like the smell of chocolate, which is really nice when that comes through. I'm just going to pick out some of these shapes. Start by just putting them in for position with the outlines, and I'm just using the space around it. And these are not meant to be photoreal little sketches, but impressionistic. So quick, capturing the essence. Of the picture. And if you wanted to be more refined, you could always wait until this dries. And then you could work into it with pen or pencil. It's quite dark up here behind in the painting. Just be careful if you do get a bit of flooding. Remember the capillary action of the brush will soak up and remove the paint or the powder. So let's see, we're just blocking in now. I'm going to try and just put some of these mid-tones in the skull. I'm just using a dry brush top just to get like a burnishing, just to get a bit of softness on some of these fruits. I'm just going to flood these eyes again at the top. And that nose. Take a little bit off. See how that brush with its capillary action is soaking back up. Probably taking too much off actually. Get some of these, whatever these are, plant leaves in the background. You can see what we're on to now, 10 minutes. Art doesn't always have to take you a long time. And I'm just going back and getting some of these picked out, getting some of these folds, that table. It's got a nice material edge to it. Strange material folds where the skull is. This is quite dark around here, around these pairs. And this is dark as well. Which wants some more depth in the eye. Whoa, that's a bit much. I don't know. See it. I hope it doesn't run. And then I'll just put in some I'll just define the tonal areas around the fruit now. Just pick them out. A little bit more. That one in. Quite dark around that part. It's quite dark there. Quite dark around here. Now we're looking. Right, I think we'll call it out on that. So that is my 14-minute Rowntree's cocoa powder, Paul Cezanne, still life with fruits. And here's my other one with coffee. So don't have to have expensive paints in the house, guys. Have a look for things like curry powder, turmeric, anything like that. And have a go, knock out some quick impressionistic style work. Like and subscribe.